Hey guys, how y'all doing today? My name is Franchise Fanatic and welcome back to the channel. And today, for you guys, is another movie review. Today we're tackling The King's Man. I did see this movie yesterday when you're seeing this. However, I didn't really have time working on a Batman tribute. It's taken me a long freaking time, but it's one of my best tributes yet to honor LEGO Batman 2 gameplay. And like I said, making Christian Bale, Ben Affleck, and Robert Pattinson, all three of those Batmen in a tribute. So look forward to that very soon. It's going to be freaking sick. But still, we are covering the next film. I have a poster right there. Maybe I'll show you, maybe I won't. I'm trying to find some kind of a background that isn't just this, where I have different posters. I'm trying to work it out, so bear with me on that. But, so The King's Man essentially is, well, it was a movie that was supposed to be out like 10 flipping years ago, right? It came out December, I'm looking at my poster, December 22nd, it came out. And, you know, we're seeing it on, what, like the 28th, 27th, whatever. And it was definitely a long time coming because the Golden Circle, well, the Secret Service came out in 2015, the Golden Circle came out in 2017, and now The King's Man, which is the official prequel, is, of course, you know, the end of 2021, basically the beginning of 2022. And, you know, it's been a while. You know, I've always been looking forward to this film. And I kept getting delayed, pushed back. And is this movie actually worth seeing? In my opinion, yes. Is it my favorite Kingsman film? No. It's probably my least favorite just because of the fact that, you know, I like Kingsman where it's guns and futuristic shite and there's spy work and, you know, that's what Kingsman is. This is literally a World War I film. And to see, you know, this kind of, I guess, trade-off of filming styles from Matthew Vaughn, you know, you still got the crazy-ass, you know, movements and the camera angles and the fight scenes are freaking outstanding. If it's one thing, The Matrix Resurrections, I will have a review on that soon, don't worry. If it's one thing The Matrix Resurrections isn't the best at, it's the action. And this film definitely made up for it in spades. The King's Man is a great action film. It looks nice, you can follow everything, it's really fun, chaotic, just like Kingsman 1 and 2. It's got it all. In terms of acting, you know, Ralph Fiennes, however the fudge you want to say his name, basically Lord Voldemort and Alfred from the LEGO Batman movie. He is, of course, Orlando Oxford, and then you got his son Conrad. You got, what's his face, like Shona, the black dude, Damajan Hansu. I swear to God, I'm reviewing this movie late at night, so I don't remember the names. Shola, I think, and then we have, of course, I forgot her name already. Shoot. I knew her name like an hour ago. The girl. I don't know. But she basically, these characters, for me not remembering her effing name, she definitely is a good character. And it's very cool to see all three of, you know, I guess 4 protagonists, you know, Conrad also, really kind to understand what it is to not only be a Kingsman agent, but also what it takes to get to that point. And all of these characters are very freaking well developed, well, you know, acted. The writing's really good. As far as negatives, really, I'd have to say that it's a tad bit, I don't want to say confusing, but this is the film where you really need, like, if Kingsman 1 or 2 were just stupid action movies, and there's plot, you know, it's not just action, but this film, The King's Man, really is about the plot. The action's amazing, but there is a plot, and I don't want to get into specific spoilers, but again, you do want to pay attention. There's a lot of stuff going on with World War I, how basically we see how World War I begins, and to an extent how it even ends in the same film. It's kind of like, you know, this big mysterious bad guy, and you don't see his face until the very end, so you see the back of his head. It really is you know, really good. Polly, that's her name, Polly. I remember now. The dude with the bald head is very much, I just remember, a guy that is, you know, shrouded in mystery and you know, kind of clouded in mystery. And we see his buddies, you know, Rasputin, that one, you know, chick that's crazy nuts, and then you also get all these other characters that kind of, it's basically like a big table, you know, think of the Kingsman table, but for the bad guys, and really this dude in charge is like, you get him, so there's assassination attempts against other people, there's like Germany, Russia, England, all of these different countries are kind of fighting each other because there's these 3 cousins. It's kind of convoluted, it's not confusing, but it is a lot to take in, and maybe it's not a negative, but if I were Matthew Vaughn, or if I were the editor, I would have said, you know, let's take 1 or 2 of these things, because it's a lot to take in, you know what I mean? It really, really is, and you need to see the freaking movie to understand what I'm talking about, but there is a lot of crap in this film. Story-wise, plot-wise, and if you're not paying attention, you're like, what the hell's going on? You know what I mean? Because that's what, I was like, this is nuts, you know what I mean? Like, I was expecting just a dumb action film. Not that the first 2 were, but, you know, I wasn't expecting this level of plot and story, and there's a lot, you know, these three cousins are there, and they're fighting, and they're trying to get one side to fight the other side, and basically it's World War I, but, you know, in the Kingsman lens, Kingsman lens, but there's a lot of, like I said, action scenes that are really nice. Again, the plot, though, it's just, it's kind of all over the place, and it's not really negative, but you do need to pay attention. As far as, you know, actual negatives, I would say that this film, tonally, you know, the actual tone of the film is all over the goddamn place. I mean, the first half is, you know, pretty much a straight-up Kingsman, you know, not as crazy with the action, but there is, you know, that Rasputin action scene that you see in the trailer where he's like, rah, and he's, you know, dancing and jumping on the table. That is, in the first half, it's crazy awesome. It's pretty freaking cool. Second half, without getting into too many spoilers, it really much is a completely different film. How it's shot, how it looks. I mean, it really kind of like 1917, except the one-shot gimmick. It really much, you know, this film turns into a legitimate World War I movie where Conrad is in the trenches and, you know, shit's hitting the fan and there's gunpowder. You know, these guys are shooting. I mean, it's really a World War I movie, and it kind of, the second half kind of takes away the comedy, takes away the crazy awesome, and there is one action scene in it, but, you know, it takes away the intense, kind of absurd action, and it really turns it into a big movie that doesn't really know what it wants to do in terms of tone. It's kind of all over the place. Then the third act, you get to that scene, and it's back to the crazy awesome action stuff, and there's a lot of funny moments. So, you know, as far as a tone, this film doesn't really know, it feels like 3 or even 2 movies at the same time. It does not feel like one cohesive narrative. It feels like they went, alright, crazy cool, and something a little more down to earth and real, then crazy cool, you know. Alrighty guys, so sorry about the little cut there. My fan turned on and it sounded like a Wookiee was dying, so I had to cut real quick. But going back to the actual plot, again, like I was saying, it feels like 2 different movies. You know, the first half, like I said, is insane, and then the second's more realistic, and the third is back to being insane. It's not bad, and the tone fits the individual scenes, but as a whole, the entire film, it does feel a little bit disconjointed. That is really my only negative. I think the comedy's on point for what Kingsman should be. The action is on point. You know, it is a lot more swordplay than straight up, you know, gunplay like Kingsman 1 and 2, but again, that's a World War I film. There's actually a lot of heart, without getting into spoilers, there's a lot of heart to this film. Between Orlando Oxford and, you know, Conrad, his son, it's almost like a Lego Ninjago movie type bond between like Lloyd and, you know, Lord Garmadon in that film, without the excessive comedy, where it's really like, you know, Conrad wants to fight in World War I, and his dad, Orlando Oxford, Ray Fiennes, is like, no, you can't effing do that, because from my experience, fighting, you know, wanting to fight is something different than actually being in the middle of, you know, bloody gunfire. And, you know, there's a lot of stuff that kind of hinges and you know, blooms from that. One of my favorite things about this film is that Conrad, the beginning of the film, is like, all right, I want to fight. I want to, you know, fight for you know, England or whatever, and I want to do good for my country. And the first fight between Rasputin, this isn't really a spoiler, and Orlando, when he's, you know, he's going crazy in the trailer where he's doing all the weird ass spins like a ballerina. That is really insane, and it's fun, it's action packed. There's crazy music going on. It's Rasputin's freaking nuts, you know what I mean? So it just feels good when they're fighting. And that comes before the World War I scene where Conrad is alone in the trenches and shit happens, quite literally. And you actually really understand that Conrad there's a moment where he realizes where he is and what he's doing, and he doesn't like it. He doesn't like being in the middle of a World War I. But he enjoyed playing with his, you know what I mean? So it's kind of a stark contrast of the beginning. You know, Conrad's fighting with his dad, and he's like, oh, I can do this, you know what I mean? Look at this. Father and son are fighting a bad guy, and we're winning and all that, and it's great. You know, this is what I want to do. I want to fight just like this. And then he gets the chance, real combat, where his dad isn't there, and it's not crazy fun anymore. And he gets that realization that, man, I'm effed up. Like, this is not good. You know, I got to get the heck out of here. So I like that a lot. And again, tonally, doesn't really work too much, but in terms of a narrative, it still fits the character of Conrad and Orlando Oxford very well. So, again, I think that this is, again, a bit confusing. You really do need to pay attention. Not as bad as, like, say, the recent Matrix Resurrections, which is, you know, very much not for idiots, you know what I mean? A lot of people online are like, this doesn't make any sense! You know, it makes sense for me. I'll do it when I review it, trust me. I actually saw the movie with Alan. We went together. We hung out for a day. But I didn't like the review I made, so I'm going to rewatch it on HBO Max. Re-review it. But again, as far as the Kingsman film, I like the action, I like the writing, I like the jokes, I like the acting. You know, there's a lot to love in this film. Rasputin's freaking insane. He's nuts. There's just a few moments where it's not confusing, but it is kind of a lot to take in for a Kingsman film. You know what I mean? When you need to watch it, but it's very much like it's almost too much plot. It's hard to explain. You need to really watch the film. But other than that, and a few moments in, again, tone-wise, not really hooking up or not really connecting the way I wanted them to, The King's Man is a really good film. I don't know why the hell it's getting such horrible reviews. I guess normally how it goes is if a critic gives something like below a 10 or below like 10 to like 50, I freaking love it. And most critics that give something like a 90, I don't even see it or I don't like it. I'm weird, I don't know. But I really enjoyed The King's Man. Is it my favorite? No. Kingsman: The Golden Circle is my favorite, and then The Secret Service, and then The King's Man. Saying that, this is not a bad film. It's very fun, very funny, very action-packed, and very awesome to watch. It really does feel like classic Kingsman film, just in a World War I setting, and I really, really freaking like that. But again, tone-wise, a little bit weird. It's a little bit, plot-wise, it's a little bit too much sometimes. But other than that, it's a fun movie. I'm going to give The King's Man an A-. I've been waiting for this film for such a long time, and it really did deliver in terms of every front. I wanted to love this film as much as 1 and 2, but again, some tiny little, gripes and stuff like that just kind of makes me not love it as much. But, I'm still going to buy it on Blu-ray. I'm still going to rewatch it 100 times like I did the first two. It's a great action film, and if you have seen it, make sure to tell me without spoiling it in the comments what you think down below. Again, The King's Man is going to get an A-. Look forward to The Matrix Resurrections review soon. Batman Tribute, Lego Batman 2 gameplay, all 3 of those things are coming up very soon. Make sure to subscribe if you're not already. And again, leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Again, Kingsman, A-. I don't think it deserves a hate, and I really enjoyed it for the most part. Thank you guys, and we'll see you in the next video. By the way, guys, quick little end thing before hopefully you weren't gone. Here's the Kingsman poster I got from my cinema. Pretty cool stuff. Alright, I'll leave it at that. Hope you guys enjoyed the review. Just wanted to show you the poster. Thank you guys again, and we'll see you in the next video.